So I'll be honest, I underestimated this phone. When Samsung first announced the Galaxy Z Fold 8, I thought it was just a smaller, cheaper alternative to the Ultra. A phone that looked cool, but one I'd eventually move on from. I couldn't have been more wrong. After using it for the last few days, I realized Samsung didn't just make a smaller foldable, they created a completely different experience. And surprisingly, there are things I actually prefer about this phone over the Ultra. So this isn't going to be a spec-by-spec review because you've probably seen enough of those already. I want to tell you what it's actually like to live with the Z Fold 8, what surprised me the most, what still needs work, and whether I think it's worth $1,900. Let's get into it. What's up guys, Sal here. So first up, let me quickly remind you that this is your last chance to pre-order the Z Fold 8 or the Ultra because pre-orders are coming to an end. That means offers like enhanced trade-in values and $100 discount will disappear. So take advantage of them while they last. Links are in the description. Alright, so let's start with the biggest surprise, the form factor. As someone coming from the Fold 7, when I first saw the Fold 8 in videos, I thought this form factor looked a bit weird. I was convinced the Ultra would be more comfortable because it looked more familiar. So naturally, I pre-ordered the Ultra. Then, I started seeing people go absolutely crazy over the Fold 8, saying Samsung had finally fixed foldables and whatnot. I even ran a poll on the channel asking which one you guys bought, and 60% of you picked the Fold 8. So I thought, you know what, forget it, let's pre-order the Fold 8 too. And honestly, I expected to use it for a few days, make a couple of videos, and then go right back to the Ultra. That's not what happened. Within a day or two, I found myself reaching for the Fold 8 more often. Not because it had better specs, it doesn't. Not because it was cheaper, but because every time I picked it up, it just felt right. It took me a while to figure out why I kept reaching for the Fold 8, and then it finally clicked. The Fold 8 gives you almost the same foldable experience as the Ultra, but in a phone that's noticeably easier to live with every day. The displays are almost the same size, multitasking is just as good, and in some cases even better. The main display still feels massive when you open it, but when you fold it shut, it's lighter, more compact, fits in your pocket better, and the cover screen is simply more comfortable to use. That's what I completely underestimated. I thought I'd be giving up too much by choosing the smaller phone, but after actually using it, I realized I really wasn't. And that feeling didn't wear off after the first day. The more I used the Fold 8, the more I started appreciating all the little things Samsung got right. For example, the anti-reflective display. This is one of those features that doesn't sound exciting until you actually use it. Every morning I used to sit outside with a cup of coffee, use my phone. On previous folds, reflections were always a problem. The moment sunlight hit the display, the screen became a giant mirror. Even worse, those reflections made the crease stand out much more than it actually does. With the Fold 8, that's mostly gone. Samsung did make the crease a bit shallower this year, which definitely helps, but I think the anti-reflective coating deserves just as much credit. It cuts down reflections so much that not only is the display easier to see outdoors, but the crease also becomes far less noticeable because there's simply less light bouncing off it. It's one of those small quality of life improvements that you stop thinking about after a while, but the moment you go back to an older Fold, you immediately notice what you've been missing. Battery life has also been a pleasant surprise. I can easily get through a full day of heavy use without worrying about charging. And when I say heavy use, I mean gaming, taking photos, watching videos, multitasking, basically everything you'd normally do on a flagship. I'm consistently getting around 10 hours of screen on time, which is honestly excellent for a foldable. In fact, I saw a battery test from the folks over at Tom's Guide, and the results were even more surprising. The Z Fold 8 Ultra with its 5000 mAh battery performed similarly to the Motorola Razr Fold, which has a 6000 mAh battery. That just goes on to show what optimization can really do. On paper, the Fold 8 lineup has smaller batteries than its Chinese competitors, but battery capacity is only one part of the equation. Optimization matters just as much, and Samsung has been nailing that for the last few years. Samsung also increased the charging speed this year. It's not going to win any charging races. It still takes about 70 minutes to fully charge, but it's a welcome upgrade over previous generations. Combined with the excellent battery life I've been getting, I don't really have any complaints in this department. The same goes for performance. No matter what you throw at it, it doesn't stutter at all. The thermals have also been surprisingly good. Even during longer gaming sessions, the phone gets warm, but never to the point where it becomes uncomfortable to hold or starts throttling noticeably. Now, does that mean this phone is perfect? Not even close. There are still a few things I wish Samsung had done differently. The biggest one is the cameras, not because the main camera is bad, it isn't, but because Samsung removed the telephoto camera altogether. Personally, I don't take a lot of photos with my phone, but when I do, it's usually with the telephoto lens. I just prefer the look it gives you. Sure, the telephoto camera on the Fold 8 Ultra isn't anything amazing to begin with, but at least it's there. On the Fold 8, you don't even have that option. Now, other than missing telephoto camera, the rest of my complaints are more like small annoyances than deal breakers. For example, the Fold 8 doesn't get flex mode like the Ultra. You can still prop the phone up at different angles, but you don't get any of the flex mode software features because they simply aren't available on this phone. Wireless charging is another one. The charging speed itself is fine, but because the phone is so short, it's a little harder to line up properly on a charger. The camera bump tends to get in the way. To be fair, that's not unique to the Fold 8. Samsung's recent flagships have had a similar issue. It's just a bit more noticeable here. Then there's the punch hole camera on the inner display. For some reason, I notice it more on the Fold 8 than I do on the Ultra, even though they have the exact same size cutout. Maybe because this phone is shorter, so it sits closer to where my eyes naturally focus. Honestly, since there is no flex mode anyway, I almost wish Samsung had removed the inner camera completely for a seamless display, or maybe even brought back the under display camera. The speakers are also excellent, they get loud, they're clear, and I really don't have any complaints about the sound quality itself. The only thing I notice is the speaker placement. When you're using the phone unfolded in landscape, the audio can feel a little left heavy because of where the speakers are positioned. It didn't bother me often, but every now and then I noticed that. Definitely not a deal breaker, just something worth mentioning. So with all of that being said, after spending the last few days with the Z Fold 8, I can confidently say I definitely underestimated this phone. I thought it would feel like a compromise compared to the Ultra. Instead, it gave me almost the entire Ultra experience in a form factor that I genuinely enjoyed using more. Is it perfect? No. The missing telephoto camera is still my biggest complaint, but for the way I use my phone every day, that's a trade-off I'm more than willing to make. If cameras are your top priority, get the Ultra, but if you want the foldable that's simply more enjoyable to live with every single day, I genuinely think Samsung got it right with the Fold 8. Anyway, if you're planning to pick one up, remember that pre-orders are ending soon, so this is your last chance to take advantage of the offers. Links are down in the description. Also, Samsung is officially bringing back the Z Tri-Fold 2 next year, and I've got all the details in this video right here, and I'll see you there.